Okay, so I finished my desk. It's going to take a week to cure, and I have to do another fine finish sanding with 3000 grit and wipe it down with quadruple aught steel wool and Minwax paste wax. The goal was not to get it glossy, but to make it look like the wood, except with a little bit of a sheen and a very smooth to the touch surface. It doesn't feel like wood. It feels like a desk. It came out really good. It took a lot more work than I thought. I had to do it twice. But this is what cheap Home Depot butcher block looks like. I think I spent 160 bucks on this top. It's not bad. I don't see too many flaws. There are some waves going this way because that's the way I applied the poly, and there's like 8 coats of the thin stuff on there. So basically 2 coats of the good stuff. Remember, this is the one that I made out of pipe fittings. It's a pretty cool desk. Pardon the mess. Everything's covered in sawdust right now because, you know, let's see. I had to use a random orbital sander. My tubamute is covered. It looks like snow. Everything in the room is covered up in plastic or covered up in sawdust. But it came out good. The whole thing costs probably about as much as a real desk would have cost, so it wasn't a cheaper way to do this. But now that I've done it, is that zoomed in? Yeah, it is. Now that I've done it and I've got the understanding how to do it, there's another one over here covered up in towels that I want to do. That'll mow a lot faster and will be cheaper. First off, I already own everything I need to do it, so that saves a lot. Second off, the procedure, I have worked out what works best in my space with my relative temperature and humidity issues, and it came out pretty good. I can't complain. The finish is nice and even. You can see with the light, sort of. Of course, the rest of the room looks like hell and will until I clean it up. Let me get around here. Try not to fall down. I have all this stuff everywhere, all my piles and piles of stuff to do this. It's nice and smooth. I had a problem. I had to sand it back down right here. It pooled. There was a big pool on this last inch or so. And also, because I put that coat on too heavily, from about here all the way down this line, there was a thick section. I guess it was a pool. I guess that means the top is low there. I don't know. I don't see that now. It's getting better. Every time I put on a coat, I get a little better at putting on. You can still see a little bit of shine across there. So you can see it's a low gloss, but you can see shine there. And again, shine's not what I wanted. What I wanted was a clear picture of the wood pattern, a lack of terrible blotchiness, because birch is terrible about blotching, and butcher block is terrible about blotching. And this is birch butcher block, so it should look like crap. The wood conditioner did a good job. You see all the details of the different colors of the boards. There's a couple of blotchy areas, but they were like that when it was bare. This and that. This here, which isn't coming across the camera that much. This, that, and some of this, that especially. But that's not really an example of blotchiness, I don't think. I don't have enough experience to tell you. But to my way of thinking, they were dark before I started. All the wood conditioner did was soak up wood conditioner, whatever it is, into the porous patches so that it wouldn't absorb more stain and make it hideously dark. What happens with this stuff is the lighter wood is much harder, much less porous, and the darker wood absorbs more. So when you rub the stain on, you know, the darker stuff absorbed more stain. It's kind of duh. The conditioner puts a coating on the wood that sinks down based on how soft it is. So it still absorbs more stain than the harder wood, but not a lot. It ends up really minimizing it. And I think the way it came out is pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, you can see some reflectivity off the top. I didn't expect to see this much, but I think it came out good. I have to do the back edge. I screwed that up. It's going to be against the wall. You can't really see, yeah, you can't see it. It's got a run and some other stuff, and I sanded down the sides and the front when I sanded the top off and did it again. I didn't do that to the back. I forgot. So at some point, this whole back strip will get sanded down and restained and refinished, but it's not important. That's the part that goes against the wall. Again, I think these pipe fittings and stuff are extremely cool to make a desk out of. I like that. I think this is pretty cool. I didn't do the underside because of the humidity here, though it bothers me. I would really like to do that. I'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll flip it over and do that at some other time. At least stain it so it looks right. Anyway, that's it. Bye.